Hello, I'm Mark Horton and I'm the Professor of Archaeology at the University of Bristol, and we're working together with the Croatoan Archaeological Society, a local community group, to investigate the 10,000-year history of this fascinating island. People first came here to the Outer Banks, probably at the end of the last ice age, when hunters followed the big game that were available, and we find traces of the spear points they left behind. Over the millennium, other Native American groups came to hunt in the woods and fish in the Sound, but perhaps the most famous moment in the history of Hatteras Island was when the survivors of the lost colony, those are the Elizabethans, the first English that came to North America, probably found refuge here in those Native American communities.
Hatteras Island was home to the Croatoan Indians. These were the first Native Americans the English ever met back in 1584. Croatoan lived in longhouses made out of sapling poles, and we have found over 417 post holes from these longhouses. This is what the Croatoan called a rashaquan. It is a whelk shell that has been modified into a tool for farming. They use this as a hoe. A wooden handle was placed in where this hole was actually drilled into the shell, and you can see where the lip and the beak of the shell have been worn down from tilling the soil, possibly helping to build canoes.
The first evidence we've got for permanent English settlement on Hatteras Islands is from about the 1720s. And what's incredible is that these first pioneers settled on exactly the same place as the Native Americans had for the last 400 or 500 years. So what we find above the Native American levels is archaeological evidence for these first English. For example, this is a piece of slipware, a type of earthenware pottery that they would have cooked and eaten their food off, something like that. Or for example here we've got a really good example of a bottle, an onion bottle or brandy bottle, and there's the neck and there's the base from around 1720, 1730. But I suppose one of the really telling pieces who are at the right date is this halfpenny, which is actually dated exactly 1737. So somebody left a coin there in these levels.